Hi everyone, Stepan here, playing game 2 on my quest to reach 2500. So on the screen you can see the stats so far. Played the first game, which you could have seen in yesterday's video. That was a win. So I have a bit less than 250 rating points to go. It's gonna be tough, but it's gonna be fun. I find it really exciting to set high goals. So we will see. I have 90-something, 96 days left to go. Mainline exchange Caro-Kann. Do I play queen c8 or queen d7? I'm gonna go with queen c8 in this one. Both moves are playable. And now my opponent plays knight f3, bishop e7, castles, castles. This is just the main line. The upside of queen d7 is that you get to play bishop d6, but the upside of queen c8 is that there's never knight e5 tempo, and in some cases there could be trouble with the queen over here. So bishop h5, I want to bring my bishop back to g6 to guard h7. Okay, I don't mind this trade. This is my bad bishop, and it secures the diagonal. This is all, I mean, you can call it theory, but it's also very thematic moves. My opponent should take with the bishop, I think, because the knight is more promising attacking piece. Because when you leave the knight there, then there is h4, h5. And you can support the knight with the other knight. Now my goal should be to start a minority attack with a6, b5, and also set up some tricks with knight b4 if my opponent isn't careful, and knight takes d4. So something like queen d7 and rook c8. Okay, my opponent is playing for knight e5 again. That's understandable. Knight e5. Let's just go a6. If knight g5, knight g5, should I be concerned about that? Do I play knight h5 now, chasing the bishop away? That seems interesting. I can also consider rook e8. I can also consider knight d7. I can play a6. I'm slightly worried about knight g5, slightly, and although I don't want to overreact with a move like knight h7, so if knight g5, knight h7, there are no tricks on e6, so I think I can afford a6. Another benefit of queen c8 is that the queen always looks at e6, making it harder to sacrifice the knight on f7 or on e6. We will see what happens. My opponent's rated around 2300, so I think we should be about the same strength. I have lost some rating points recently, but my highest score on this account was maybe 2320, 2350, something like that. I mean, he probably should go a4. Okay, this is a safe move, but it allows b5, so I will play b5. Let's just see if there are any tricks with knight g5, queen f3, queen h3. So b5, knight g5, knight h7 should be fine. Yeah, it should be fine. Usually in the exchange Caro-Kann, white is the one attacking on the king side, so don't feel ashamed to play moves like knight h7, because you have a small advantage on the queen side. Like in this case, my opponent played a3, preventing b4, because now if a5, bishop takes pawn is playable. So I could consider claiming the c4 square now. So knight a5, knight c4. I can also consider queen b7 to support a5, b4, but that slightly worries me because my queen isn't close to my my stuff anymore, not guarding e6. So I think I'll play rook e8 first, so that I can play bishop f8, so that on rook e1 I'm not hanging any bishop takes and queen takes, and my queen is free to move. Also, I've given my king a square in case I need it, so I have king f8, knight g8, stuff like that, in case there's a mating attack. And then next I'm going to consider supporting a5 with a move like queen b7, now that e6 is sufficiently defended by the rook. I can also consider a move like knight h5, chasing the bishop away. Queen b7 doesn't do much because the bishop and the queen have a double attack. And if I play knight a5 with the idea to go knight c4, I don't think b3 is a good idea, but on knight a5 my opponent may play knight e5. Okay. So I definitely don't want to take this. I don't want to take this. I want to go knight a5, knight c4, a5. That's my idea. And if b3 takes, pawn takes. So is there any trouble on g6? Knight g6, fg6, bishop g6. Should I be worried about this? If I go knight d7, preparing bishop f6, how does that look? Knight d7, then there is knight g6, fg6, queen e6, I don't like that. If I go knight a5, bishop takes, pawn takes, knight takes, seems okay. Knight a5, queen f3, I don't think the knight is coming in, although there could be knight takes, pawn, or sorry, bishop takes, pawn takes, knight takes, and the queen is on h8, but I may have time for king f7. I feel like I should not be worried, so I'm going to continue my attack. I want to go knight c4 and a5. I also can consider bishop d6 in some cases, but I have to watch out for knight g6, so my bishop needs to be defended if I do that. And I will consider rook a7, guarding the 7th rank. Of course, if I land the knight on c4 and my opponent ever takes, then I take with the b pawn, and I have an excellent position on the queen side because b2 is hard to defend. I wasn't that afraid of knight e5. I was more afraid of... Okay, is there enough pressure on e6 now? I don't think so. Bishop g6, fg6, knight g6, threatening queen e6, but not really. So I feel like I have enough time. Although maybe I should consider playing bishop f8 first. I'm not sure. Okay, I'm gonna go knight c4 before I do anything else. I don't think I'm in trouble with bishop or knight takes g6 because my queen defends and it forces a queen trade if my opponent decides to sack a piece. Obviously now b3 isn't a good move because I can take on a3 and then play b4 supporting the knight. I feel like that's fine. Knight f7, king f7, queen e6 doesn't work as long as my queen is on the e-pawn. Yeah, I feel like the position is safe enough. And next I think I can consider a move like knight h5, but I have to be slightly worried about knight g6 there, because on bishop g6, knight g, f g, bishop g. Okay, there's still knight f4 attacking the queen, but you know what I mean. It would be a fork on the rook and the knight on h5, so I have to be careful. So I cannot play knight d7 because of knight f7. That's unfortunate. But I think everything else is fine. And I'm ready to play a5. Now let's pretend white doesn't make a move. And then a5, b3, knight a3, bishop b5, knight b5, queen b5 should be okay for me. After, let's say, queen b8. Also, my opponent's rook on f1 is kind of stranded now. So if I chase the bishop away and eliminate the defender of d2, there could be trouble with knight d2. So I want to go a5, b4. That's my plan. That's my long-term plan. And my opponent is trying to mate me on the king side, but that will be difficult with the queen still blocking in the rook. And with my knight now... Okay, wants to go b3. That's understandable. However, I feel slightly more optimistic now because I can play bishop d6. And so let's say bishop d6, f4. Yeah, that could be a problem. My opponent wants to play f4. So do I still go a5? a5, b3, knight a3, bishop a3, bishop a3, bishop b5. Attacking my rook. So maybe I should go rook b8 first. I am gonna go rook b8 first. Rook b8, f4, a5 seems fine. Also, bishop c4 or knight c4 are much worse now. And I don't think much has changed in regards to knight f7 or knight g6. The exchange Caro-Kann is a weird opening where you're basically, each side is playing their own thing. So let's look at this again. a5, knight g6, f g6, bishop g6 seems okay. a5, knight f7, king f7 seems okay. a5, f5, ef5 seems okay. a5, g4, b4, g5, knight h7 seems okay. So I think I'm safe. a5, b3, a5, b3, knight a3, a5, b3, knight a3, bishop a3, bishop a3, bishop b5, bishop b5, rook d8. I think it works. I can also just play positionally now and play for the e4 square now that my opponent has given it away. I can go knight d6. So knight d6 followed by knight e4 seems like a good positional idea. Knight d6, g4, knight fe4. Okay, I actually like that. I'm gonna blockade his attack. I don't think anything changes in regards to the sacrifices. So f4 gives away the e4 square permanently, and my opponent doesn't have a way to challenge both knights on that square. So I block the bishop, block the queen and rook. So unless there's an immediate sacrifice, and I land the knight on e4, I don't think a lot of progress will be made. Which knight? I don't know. Okay, my opponent wants to play rook h3. So I feel like the d knight should go there. Knight d4, rook h3. My opponent wants to play queen f2, but I'm preventing that. How else can they get to h4? I don't see it. So, maybe knight fe4 because of g4, g5. Also, the knight on d6 guards f7, but the knight on f6 guards h7. Okay, I'm going knight d4. Now my opponent has less attacking force, and it's pretty hard to get the queen to h4, I feel. Pretty hard. Pretty hard. Okay, so how does my opponent get the queen? Oh, the threat may be rook h8, king h8, knight f7 check, but I don't see it yet. So the knight on f7 does not fork my king and queen. How does the queen get to h4? You know what? I'm just gonna give my king a way out. So I'll play bishop d6 to make sure I never get mated. This way my king can escape. Oh, I just blundered rook h8 followed by knight takes d6. Knight f7, knight d6. This is the worst move on the board. Why did I do this? This was literally the worst move on the board I could have played. I see the tactic and I fall for it anyway. My god. Rook h8, king h8, knight f7, king g8, knight d6, queen d7, knight e8, queen e8, and I'm down a pawn for no reason. This was so stupid. I see the tactic and I fall for it anyway. Why would I do that? That's insane. Oh, come on. I should have blunder checked this move. Oh, maybe he doesn't see it. but it's a pretty easy tactic. How do I see the idea and it doesn't work and then I make it work after I've seen it? It's so stupid. I'm so angry. Okay, calm down. You're gonna be down a pawn. You're gonna lose the bishop, but that's okay. We keep playing. Okay, I have to stop thinking about it. He's gonna go rook h8, and then we will keep fighting. Ooh, yes. Okay. Oh no, I'm stupid. It doesn't work because the knight defends. Ah, I have a knight on e4. Okay, okay. Yeah, bishop d6 was a bad move for a very different reason. Okay, I may have to play... I may have to play queen b7. So queen b7, g5, knight h5, bishop e4, d4, queen e4, rook e4, a5. Seems like I could survive. Seems like I could survive. My queen also defends f7. And if my opponent plays rook h5, gh5, queen h5, am I getting mated there? I don't think so. This way I'm forcing a queen trade, and the fact that I'll be down pawn shouldn't be the end of the world. Although I should have put the d knight into e4, avoiding this trouble with g4, g5. Okay. I think I have to play knight h5. I don't see an alternative. Not good. This is not good, but there's nothing I can do now. At least his bishop on c1 is kind of bad. Although giving up the d-pawn is awful. Just awful. But if we trade queens, I don't see a straightforward way for my opponent to make progress. And if he doesn't take on e4, then I mean, I could move my bishop and play knight d6. The only good thing about my position is that I'm 2 pawns up. Okay, I don't understand queen d1. I'm gonna be honest, I don't understand it. Aha, my opponent wants to play queen c2 and take with the rook first. Makes sense. Although, can I go f5 now? f5 knight g6 seems awful. But I could play bishop e5. Bishop e5, fe5. No, that's suicidal. What do I do? So my opponent wants to play queen c2. Oh no, he wants to play bishop e2. Wants to play bishop e2, bishop takes h5. Yep. How do I stop that? Maybe I just need to run away with my king. King f8, bishop e2, king e7, bishop h5, gh5, rook h5, rook h8. Can I survive that? g6. The rook's hanging. I feel like I need to run away with my king. I am gonna run away with my king. I don't see an alternative to this. Because I cannot prevent bishop takes h5. There's just no way. There is no rook h8 because of bishop g4. And I have to play... Oh, queen h8? Ooh, that's nice. That's very nice. So I'm guessing I have to take on e5. I think I have to take on e5. Bishop e5, fe5, g6. Yep. g6, there's queen f3. Oh, Jesus. Yeah, I have to eliminate the knight. So g6, queen f3, and the idea is rook e4. Maybe I can play rook h8 and trade some pieces, but I am not too convinced. I want to go g6 straight away. On g6, queen f3, rook h8, there's rook e4, but I can take on h3 first, and then on queen f6 I have king f8. So g6, queen f3, rook h8, rook e4, rook h3. If queen f3 I take, so queen f6, king f8. I don't know where the rook goes. I don't know. But it is up the exchange. And if I start with rook h8, then queen f3, do I still have to play g6? No, I can take on h3 first, but that gives away the h file. g6 or rook h8. So g6, queen f3, rook h8, rook h8, rook h8, rook e4, d4, queen f6, king d7, queen takes h8, loses a piece. So let's start with rook h8. I need my, okay, he didn't play queen f3, that's very good. So now I can safely play g6 and run away with my king. Yeah, I know. I need to be able to play king e8 to defend f7 without shutting in my rook and then defending the h8 rook. Why am I down to 2 minutes? Come on. I mean, I definitely have a better minor piece. If I can bring my queen to f8, then I don't think I can be worse at all. Okay. So now let's defend. Ah, there's rook f6. Okay, so not rook g7, rook h7. So that rook f6 I can take it. And next I want to go queen c8, queen f8, queen g7 to cover all the key squares. As long as his bishop doesn't have a way into the position, technically I have a much stronger minor piece. Maybe I go king e8 instead of queen c8. An exchange sack would be very interesting. Okay, what? Well, I don't know what this does, but I'm just gonna go. Am I hanging rook f8 checkmate? No. Am I hanging? Oh, I'm hanging. King e8, rook f7. Rook f7, queen e6 check. Awful. Although, king e8, rook f7, rook f7, queen e6, king e8, queen c8. Ooh, bad, 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 bad. We have to play... We have to somehow save the e-pawn. So let's play queen d7 first. And then king e8. This way I'm also playing against a4 and bishop a3 check. Okay. I feel like I should take once, but maybe I shouldn't. I'll just go king e8. Or maybe my king runs away to the queen side. Ooh, that's interesting. Because there is no rook c3. Yeah, let's just go king e8 for now. Because I can always take with the queen on d5. Or maybe I cannot take with the queen. Do I lose my knight? Oh, I cannot take with the queen. Why did I do this? Yeah, I just lose a pawn. I lose another pawn. To queen takes queen, king takes, rook f7 check. Idiot. If I take with the pawn, I lose material. If I take with the queen, then rook e3. Yeah. Why the hell did I do this? Oh, maybe I have queen d4. Ooh, that's interesting. Okay, I'm gonna give up a piece, because if I take with the pawn, I lose anyway. Yeah, there's just queen d4. Okay, I'm gonna give up the knight this way. Keep fighting. I mean, it can still be interesting. Not very interesting, but it can be interesting. His king is not the safest king in the world, so we will keep fighting. My opponent wants to play rook c3 and rook c8, which offers a queen trade and threatens rook c8. What do I do? That's a good move. I have no idea what to do. Oh, I just blundered mate. That's stupid. Okay, I'm gonna resign. Yeah, I wasn't really paying attention. I wanted to try and swindle it somehow, but it didn't work. Okay, let's see. Let's turn on the engine. Okay, this is all fine. This is all still theory. Theory. Knight h5 is what people usually play, and then bishop d2 or bishop e3, but this is fine. What? b5 is a mistake? Okay, it seems okay. It's the same evaluation as the main line. Wow. Okay, I should have taken. I never really like taking on e5. Knight g6 did work? Let's see. Wow. Okay. Knight g6 worked again. Wrong knight. Stupid. Wrong knight. Yeah. Now there is no g4. Now I'm just busted. Wait, what? I should have taken. I should have taken, and then what? And then g6? What's the difference? Oh, okay. Black is better? Yeah, this is... King e8 was a very stupid move. But what's the difference? How do I react here? So how do I save my knight? So let's say it takes. Oh, now I have knight c3. I didn't pay attention to my knight being trapped. Ah, I was too low on time. Not that that's an excuse. I just blundered and played very poorly. And it was actually an equal position. Yeah, I'm not too happy with this. So how much did we lose? 12 points. So we're back to the start. Exactly the same rating I had started with. That's unfortunate. Thank you very much for watching. Hopefully I show you a better game tomorrow. Stay tuned for more chess. Bye bye.